Hey guys, Sam here with Lee IT Consulting, and this is my 3D printer reviews series, and this is my second video for the Tevo Tarantula, and this is the assembly. So first off, we have to peel off all this brown sticker paper off of the acrylic pieces, and yeah, I've heard that it takes a couple hours just to do this. So yeah, here I am, peeling stickers. Peel. And the other side. All right, let's speed this up a little bit.
You know, normally I would just leave the paper on because I'm lazy, but my wife has changed me, and now I pay more attention to detail. Yeah. All right. I've peeled off all of the brown sticky parts, and to be honest, this piece was the worst because as you peel it, there's so many little holes in here that it kept tearing. Anyway, it wasn't that bad. I would say it took less than an hour to peel all of these off. Yep. And it sticks to itself, so it's easier to throw out. All right. Now that I've got all the paper off the acrylics, this is bag B6, B63 and B64. Tools and some set screws for the brackets. Yeah, the recommendation is to preset these. It's using, I think this one. Yeah. To preset these, yeah, so let's go ahead and do that.
So I originally wanted to film the entire assembly process, but yeah, I got really carried away and just forgot to film. Yeah, it was really fun building it, and so here we go. It's gonna be built in 3, 2.
Oh, all right. So, looks like a war zone over here. But basically, I've got the thing. I've got the Tarantula mostly assembled. Got to do some cable management, and I got to clean up my work area. But yeah, I just want to point out some things during the build process that I did. So I've got it here. I wanted to do a bottom mounted Z, but the instructions I was following on YouTube, I had it the normal top mount method. Now, I greased the Z screw, the lead screw, because it was making some horrendous squealing. So that was something I had to do. I did do a little bit of cable management here, but I still got to do plenty on the side, in the back. Yeah, I mean, it went together really well. I heard horror stories of missing parts or pieces being broken or things not lining up all the way, and just lots of things. But to be honest, yeah, my kit went together like flawlessly. The only things I have to docket points are, for whatever reason, these brass pieces here for the control board, the motherboard, are pretty loose. But I mean, it's secured on here, and yeah, there's a little bit of looseness here. But from what I can tell, it doesn't affect the usability of it. Let's see, anything else? The end stops. So figuring out how to do the end stops took a little bit of time. When you home it, that's when it uses the end stops, and it'll start resetting values, min-maxes to the end stop areas. Tensioning the cables was a little bit interesting. I might need to add some extra tension later, some extra tensioners or something, because I tried to tension it as much as possible, but yeah. As far as the end stops, the X end stop, when you're homing on the X, it makes this horrible chattering noise. In fact, let me go ahead and show you guys. All right. Yeah, that doesn't sound that great. But it does home, like the 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks at the end after it clicks a ridiculous amount of times. That's a pretty annoying noise. Besides that, the printer is really, really quiet. The fans are pretty quiet as well. The screws and the motors are really quiet. I gotta admit, I didn't expect them to be this quiet. I'd highly recommend greasing the lead screw with some machine oil, because, yeah, even though when I took it out and I unboxed the lead screw, it looked really straight. When I put it in, there's a little bit of Z-wobble. I'll see how it affects my prints. I do want to do bottom mounted. I'll start looking into doing that. What else? So I was confused. I thought the Tevo Tarantula came with a direct mount extruder on the X carriage, or on the extruder carriage, but it looked like the Titan extruder is a Bowden type, as well as the normal one here is also a Bowden type. So yeah, I'm not really quite sure what that's about. I just must have been confused. So yeah, I thought the Titan extruder was actually a direct. Maybe there's a way to convert it, but I didn't expect it to be a Bowden type. You know what? I'll give it a shot. I haven't used a Bowden type before, so I'm kind of interested in how that goes. What else? I used some terminals, European block terminals, for the power supply. Now the mains power, I'm gonna redo it because I'm just doing it with the screws just to get it up and running. But I'm gonna solder it proper, use some extra lengths of wire, because the power cord is like this short. It's just way too short. There's no power switch, so it'll spark when you plug it in, to a power switch or into the wall. So I don't really like that. Yeah, some of the wires are just really thin, so I would prefer to step up the gauge on some of them. This is the control panel, and I like it. The wheel is good. The display is adequate. It's not quite as big as the Taz 6 as far as detail goes, but it has almost all the same functionality. I'm just curious where this is supposed to mount. All the pictures show it just like laying around. As with the power supply, I've seen some builds where they've mounted it on places like on the top here, but I kind of want to put the filament holder somewhere up here. But with the Bowden here, I'm thinking maybe the filament should go out this way, and then I can mount the LCD this way. But yeah, there's a couple extra bits that are left over. There's some angles with the set screws here. There's some extra tubing and stuff for this extra stock extruder. I don't see any extra T-nuts, but I got some extra zip ties and some nuts here. So I should be able to figure some things out. And Yeah, there's this I think is for a different. Maybe this is for here. In any case, I'll figure that out. And there's a B62. I didn't use this at all. I don't know what this is for. Oh, actually I did use some of these, but I didn't use all of them.
All right, so just to wrap up, I was able to assemble the Tevo Tarantula. It came together pretty well. I didn't have any big issues. My first initial impressions of the Tevo Tarantula was, yeah, the machine went together pretty easily. I was kind of afraid of any missing pieces or damaged parts, but besides the end stops being not working so well, and so the X carriage was kind of crashing, which I didn't know at the time until I figured it out later that the end stop wire was loose. Yeah, it went together. I didn't have any issues with the controls or any of the display issues that some people have been seeing. Yes, my wiring is a mess, but I am cleaning it up. The only other thing was the control board. The brass spacers seemed really loose, or they were getting stuck and not getting very secure. Besides that, the frame came together pretty well. The belts were tight when I assembled it, and yeah, I am ready to begin my first prints, and hopefully you guys will stick around. And in my next video, what I will be doing is I will be using the printer for a few days and doing some test prints, doing some calibration, trying some upgrades, and yeah, I'll come back and just describe what I've been doing and give you some more impressions and even more in-depth review. All right, so I'll see you guys next time. This is Sam from Lit, and this is my 3D printer review of the Tevo Tarantula.